welcome to day 6 of this Restore and Recover series. Today's focus is going to be on easing low back tension. And again, short disclaimer, this is not intended for those individuals who have severe low back pain. Please consult your doctor or health practitioner before doing these stretches. But for my friends who are just looking to come into a deep and gentle form of release for the back tension, this video is going to be for you. But without further ado, we will be using a prop optional, either a yoga bolster or a pillow, and we're gonna get right into it. So for the first position, we're actually gonna go ahead and come into a lying position on our back. So we're gonna go ahead and come into our back facing up towards the sky. And from here, we're just going to go ahead and come into a nice and gentle release for our spine and the hips. As y'all probably know, a lot of our low back tension does come from tight hip flexors. So we'll go ahead and start with the left knee coming in towards your midline. We're gonna hold your left knee and the leg with a gentle press and pull of the palms here. Again, you can keep your palms interlaced here. And again, if you'd like to deeply enhance through the low back and you feel that it is best and better for your body to do both legs at the same time, you can also do this version, more intensive version, that's going to really target in towards a gentle release for the back line. And if it feels comfortable, you can move your knees and your legs side to side if it feels good. But for my friends who already feel very, very intensely through the back, just in the single leg version, feel free to just stay here for just a moment. Again, nice deep inhaling through the nose and deep exhalation out through the mouth here. Now, for my friends who do not like any of these poses, again, low back pain and tension can be very personal for a lot of us. So in the case that it does not work best for you today, in the lifted version, y'all can find a position for the legs. Again, keep it bent here for the knees and just place your palms directly beside you here. Now for some of us, this can feel quite nice, or if you'd like to deeply root through the hip flexors, y'all can do a windshield wiper motion with the knees, so bringing the knees on one side, inhaling through the center, and then alternate the sides, exhaling to the other side. And if you feel, once you do this a couple times and you feel great and you'd like to hold it down on one side, feel free to just hold in this position here. It should feel like a nice opening through the hips and the low back at the same time. And last but not least, the final variation for this first one is to bring a bolster or pillow surface and thread it underneath your leg. And from here, we're just gonna lift through the legs. And again, you wanna place it underneath your calf muscles here. So you can feel not only your legs lifting, but mainly not only the hip flexors, but in the low back and the spine. So by elevating into the legs, this can bring a lot of easing in towards the low spine. And again, you can keep your palms up towards the sky. So many different variations here. And once you find a good position for your body to just hold, no movement, coming into that one side, if you had one leg lifted, or on that one side on windshield. Perhaps closing the eyes here, soft gaze in the eyes. Really letting your body gently and deeply nourish into the spine. Feeling your hips also gently opening here. And allowing the low back to gently be massaged with every single breath. Taking the nice deep inhalation, filling up your heart and your lungs, really nourish in the spine today. And with every exhalation, feeling the heat of the abdomen, pressing in towards your low back, just strengthen to ease the tension out of the low back, and getting get stronger. Relaxing the facial features here, relaxing the feet, relaxing the hands and the fingers, relaxing the neck and the head and your temple region. A lot of us hold a lot of tension in our forehead and our temples, so really just allowing your jaw to soften, opening slightly through the mouth to soften even deeper through a lot of the tension spots that we hold, our stress, and releasing it with every single exhalation, the negativity in our daily lives. And with every inhalation, only breathing in the positive energy and radiate to the inner of our body. Now for my friends who was just on that single side, single leg variation, feel free to take and switch to the other side now. And for my friends who are just with the legs both on the bolster or both on the floor with the knees bent, just feel free to continue to hold. But for my friends who are single leg, now is the time to switch and deeply nourish into the other side. Using the breath today to further deepen in those tension areas of the spine, really visualizing the low back with every breath, softening and finding more space in between those vertebral discs and finding nice gentle release and massage with the breath, and continue to hold in stillness to find a little bit deeper enhancement and nourishment of the breath, really filling up those areas and gently releasing all the tension in towards the earth and away from our body in the midline. Feeling a deep nourishment in our hips and potential tight hip flexors, and feeling with time that your hips are releasing with the low back here. And we'll take one last full cycle of breath in this position. And on your next exhalation, gently opening those eyes again as if you had it closed. Gently releasing the leg if you had it, bind it with the hand. Or again, if you're just on the bolster or on the floor, bringing the bolster away from you and bringing yourself onto one side. Knees are coming onto one side, and we'll press gently whenever you feel ready off of the floor, and we'll transition into our next position, which is going to be our seated pose. So for the seated pose today, we'll go ahead and start with the left leg bent, and we're gonna go ahead and either coming into first, both legs extended and bending through that left knee, bringing up and over to the outside of the right knee or the right quad if you can bend that left knee a little bit further. And y'all can stay just in this variation where the leg is extended, or if you'd like to take it deeper, bending through that bottom side of the leg on the right side. Now, for those of us who are here, whichever one, we're gonna go ahead and bring now, hook the right elbow to that left knee. And from here, we're gonna take a nice tall spine. Imagine someone has a string above your crown of the head, lifting up through the whole spine. And on your next inhalation, we'll bring that fingertips, the left fingertips on the floor behind you. And on your next exhalation, see if you can bend into that back elbow and coming into a gentle spinal twist where your eye gaze is looking towards that left and the back shoulder here. Feel a gentle opening through the back side, and you can also come into a dynamic version, inhaling, bringing the eye gaze forward, and then exhaling to bring your eye gaze back. And you can come into dynamic version for about 4 times until you finally come into the deepest form of your spinal stretch and holding with the position with the eye gaze back, looking towards that shoulder, bringing any tension, shoulders away from the ears and lengthening through that spine here. Now for my friends who would like to take it down a notch and focus a little bit deeper into the hip flexors, if you do find that your tension does come from the hips, you can feel free to now bend into that left knee, and you can bring it towards the inner portion of that right quad, inner thigh. Now from here, we're still going to be taking a twist, except we're going to be doing a little bit of a different variation where we're going to go ahead and hold the right palm onto that left knee, and we're going to twist in this way so that you're still in that same position for the spine, but we're deepening into that stretch of the hip flexors. And again, you can keep that right foot flexed here, so the heel of the toes pressing away from the midline as we gently come in into the spinal twist on this left side, and really feeling your hip flexors being enhanced here with the spine. So again, many different options and variations for depending on where you feel your tension is coming from. So perhaps taking both sides or both variations and seeing which one feels the most releasing for your body today. And once you find a good position, let's go ahead and hold here. And really feeling with every breath, that spine really melting in the stretch. Again, it shouldn't feel like a painful stretch. It should feel like a gentle opening and release through the back side. And a deep nourishment into the hips, whether you are in this inner thigh position or in this outer thigh position. Your hips should feel deeply nourished either way, in either position. We'll stay here for the last few moments before transitioning to the other side. And on your next exhalation, slowly bringing the eye gaze back into the center, bringing your back hand back into the center to meet the other hand as well. And we'll gently switch to the other side. So now we'll go ahead and bend into the right leg, crisscross over on the outside of that left knee and the quad. Or again, you can feel free to take this version with the deep nourishment of the hips. And from here, interlacing or interlocking the left elbow with that right knee, and gently bringing your fingertips back behind you. Make sure that back elbow is bent slightly so you're able to come deeply into this other side for the spine. And again, you can reset into the spine in the center, lifting up a little bit higher. Inhale in the front, and then exhaling to come into this nice deep nourishment for the back. And again, doing this for a couple times before settling finally into your static hold in the back. Again, you can keep the eye gaze softened or keeping the eyes closed. And further releasing any areas of tension in your facial features and holding in the best position for this side today. You might find that the left thigh and the hips and the spine might feel different from the right. So just taking the variation that feels right for the side. And the sides can be different or the same. So just listening to your body, not judging the sensations, but just listening to what is best for your spine today. As we get deeper into this pose, reminder to bring your shoulders away from those ears. With more and more time, your body might feel more relaxed and deeply nourished, and you might have a tendency to want to kind of come down a little bit. So resetting into the spine, really lengthening through the crown of the head as we gently and deeply come into our spinal twist. And being aware of that spine alignment, which is very, very essential to keep our deep nourishment and our low back nice and healthy. And we'll take one more full cycle of breath here on this side. And on your next exhalation, slowly bringing the eye gaze back into our center line position, bringing the hand back to meet the other palm and the hand, gently bringing your feet back into our center line and coming back onto our back, where we're going to go ahead and come into our final pose. And we're going to go ahead and come into banana option to keep the yoga block or your bolster close by, and lying back onto our back here. Here, we're going to go ahead and bring either, again, different variations, a little bit gentle nourishment for the spine, bringing now the right leg to meet the bolster. So bending into the right leg by supporting your hand here with the knee and gently coming onto the bolster as we bring the palms facing up towards the sky, and gently the head is looking away from the left, so it's looking towards the right. So staying here for the whole cycle on this side. Now for my friends who like to come into a total banana, we'll go ahead without the bolster. We'll bring both of the hands to place onto the elbows here. And we're going to go ahead and lift the center line. We're going to go ahead and bring now our arms onto the left side. So we're coming more onto a side bend and release. And from here, the legs are going to join it. So now the left leg is going to come to the left side, and the right leg is going to come over the left side to come into our nice and gentle side bend and release for our back. And staying here. So again, whichever variation we're holding in the static hold of the side. Nice deep inhale through the nose and deep exhalation out through the mouth here. This is our last pose of the day. So taking the depth of your breath to deepen, to soften, And as we settle deeper into this side, see if you can take the breath and visualizing the breath moving through the spine, any areas of tension that you may feel, to gently nourish, heal, and relieve low back tension through the breath. Last opportunity to get a little bit deeper onto this side, deepening into the release and the breathing. And on your next exhalation, if you have the bolster underneath you, pushing the bolster aside, bringing both your legs and your arms back into the center line. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. Again, if you did have the bolster underneath your legs, you just simply place the bolster onto the other side. And now gently bring the left knee onto the bolster, the right vision gaze onto the right. And just restoring our body and our back here. But if you are taking the banana, you will take, again, both arms. Now you crisscross into the arms. Now the left palm and the legs are going to come onto our right, so lifting through the back for the upper and lifting again the legs for the lower to create a beautiful arch and stretch or side bend, and holding in the position that feels right for you today. As we find our settled position, really feeling that next side, gently opening deeper and deeper to counterbalance the first side. Feeling that deep release from the crown of the head, the back and the shoulders, through the lateral, the lats, the sidelines, the obliques, the outskirts of the hips, really deeply nourishing and releasing with every breath, every deep cycle of breath here. We'll take last few more cycles of breath. Last time to get deep into our side stretch. Last time to give that love for the spine and the low back and our hip flexors today. Exhalation. If you have the bolster underneath, pushing the bolster away from you, returning back into the midline with the legs and the arms, unwinding through the hands, and taking a moment to close the eyes here if that feels comfortable. Bending your knees here, slowly easing yourself out of the floor, coming onto one side. And pressing your palms firmly down, away, and pushing yourself up into our seated position. thank you so much for joining this practice for yourself, for a deep nourishment and release for our spine and our hips. And I will see y'all in the next one. Have a wonderful day.